This is lesson 29 for Saxon 5, multiplying by multiples of 10 and 100. So let's start off with what multiples of 10 and 100 are. Multiples are when you take that number, you times it by another number, and you get a new number. So if I take 10, I times it by 2, I get 20. 20 is a multiple of 10. 30, 40, 50, 60, all multiples of 10. Okay, if we're looking at multiples of 100, we got 200, 300, 400, 500, all multiples of 100. Now, of course, these ones are also multiples of 10, but we're just going to say multiples of 100 as well. Okay, so tens, hundreds, multiples of. It's when you take that number, you times it by something, and you get this. That is your multiple. So when we're multiplying other numbers by multiples of tens and hundreds, we have a couple of tricks we can use instead of having to go through the process of double digit multiplication. For example, if I had 25 times 30. Okay, now because I know 30 is a multiple of 10, what I can actually do is I can break this up and say 25 times 3 times 10. So I can break this into separate problems, which means I can do 25 times 3. Well, 25 times 3 is 75. Okay, and then I times 75 by 10, and I get 750. These give you the same answer. You're just breaking it up into a smaller problem to make your life a little bit easier. The other way you do this is you do it by offsetting. So let's say I have 37 times 40. Okay, now I'm going to be getting you to do this into your book is called an offset. Now, normally I am very anal about you making sure you always, 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 always line up your letters in column method. This is one of those times you don't need to. So instead of writing 40 like that and lining up my ones and my tens, because the 40 ends in a 0, I can offset it. Okay, the 0 is going to be over here. What that means is I have this little invisible line, but I'm not paying attention to that 0 right now. I'm only timesing by 4. So I'm going to do 4 times 7, which is 28, carry the 2. 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2 is 14. I have 148. Add my 0 down. Remember that 0 I didn't use? We're going to bring it right down, and it's going to be 1,480. Okay, so what I've done is I offset it, okay, so that I ignored that 0 for the moment, did all my multiplication, then added that 0 in at the end. Okay, that's the same thing that I did earlier where I broke it up into 4 and 10. I've just kind of simplified it a little bit. Let's do one more together. So we have $3. I'll bring it down a little bit. $3.75, and I am timesing it by 10. So I'm going to offset and I'm going to multiply. So remember, I'm ignoring this 0 for the moment. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. And I bring the 0 down. Now remember, for your decimal when you're working with money, you only have 2 decimal places, which means I'm just making sure I have 2 decimal places. So you get $37.50. Okay, this is the offset method. You're just kind of ignoring that 0 for the moment and putting it down into your answer later. But you do have to remember to put it down into your answer. If you do not, you're going to get the wrong answer. That is lesson 29, multiplying by multiples of 10 and 100.